how's it going? This is Coach Ray, and this is the Brownsville Royal Knights. How are you doing today? This is the Puzzle Show, and wow, just in time, here comes my co-host, Coach Dave. He's having a little bit of issue coming in, but he's popped in. All he needs to do is turn his camera, and his camera is on. And here we go. Let me bring him in. Boom, there we go. How's it going? You doing all right? Uh-oh. There he is. Here's the man of the hour. How's it going, Dave? What can you tell me? Can you hear me?
What the fuck? Come on, what's going
Ooh,
on?
man. So, yeah. Dave was eating some cookies or something. So, oh man, I think Dave's got it going on. Let's see if Dave's kind of coming back. Are you ready, Dave? You're on the air. This is live. Dave's having some issues with his internet. Oh my goodness. I hope everything's going okay. Yeah, he is. All right, let me pull him back and let him fix his internet issue. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready, Dave, and I'll bring you right in. So, guys, how's it going? We had a great tournament over at Rancho Verde today. I was working with Lane and I had some other kids. Shout out to Jacob and shout out to Aiden. And the kids from Dishman did pretty good, man. Good job for you guys. A bunch of other players. Man, you guys are doing an excellent job getting ready for regionals coming up in February. State. Hey, what's up all the way? I think you're in New York. Hey, how's it going, New York City? Cool, yeah. So, guys, I wanted to go over some stuff today. One of the things I want to go over is the pawn push to f6, and then of course let's see, of course, some puzzles. We always do puzzles. Man, I can't even get in. Oh my goodness. But yeah, let's see. Hold on. Man, trying to send Dave a message here. But let's see what happens. It's my messenger messed up. There it is. What's up? Anyway, I see you. Anyway, so yeah. Let's just start with some puzzles. Anyway, in the tournament, analyzing games and just looking at some other games that other students were playing, I see a big problem with the opening, man. And I want to address the opening today and some other stuff. And any of you that are joining me today, you can see it here on the Brownsville Royal Knight page. You can see it on my profile page, and you can see it on the ACTITUD y PASIÓN YouTube channel, and I'm gonna share it right now, and it'll hit my page for sure. Anyway, so let me share a puzzle, and let's see where you guys are at. Percent, boom, and let's go Chrome window with this one, and here we go, and I share it, and let's see what you guys see here. All right. Puzzle show. The puzzle show. Let's see what you guys see. Tell me what you guys see, and we'll take it from there. Let me send this one over. Yeah, this one's up. We're running. We're running. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. Let me go like that. And here comes Dave. Hey, Dave. Oops. He's doing his thing, so Dave's trying to come in. Man, there you go, Dave. How you doing? You're live, Dave. You're live on the show. So and let's see what's going on. If you can hear me, I guess not. You can speak if you want to. There you go. I finally hear you. So it takes a little bit here. So this is the puzzle, guys. What do you think here? Is just move. It's obviously black to move. what do we see here? Every time it's your turn to move, you want to look at the long range pieces and you see what's going. Hey, Orlando, ¿cómo te va? Buenos días, buenas tardes. Hey, Roman, how's it going? You doing all right? Or Layla, how's it going, Layla? Hey, I hope you're feeling better so you can play at the next tournament. They totally missed you. Hey, happy birthday. Good evening, coach. Great seeing you. Hey, get it going. Yes, Hondo, how's it going? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. And there comes some kids from Benavides. How's it going, guys? We're working on some puzzles. So if you got the answer, just plug it in on the comments and I'll make sure to read it. Virginia from Garden City, Kansas. How's it going? You guys doing okay? Watching for a little bit? Okay, pick up some test tips and all we got. So, Dave, how you doing today, man? Man, all I get is air. Dave, are you talking? I'm getting some air. Let me check if it's my volume, man. I don't know. I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay. Let's see. Let me just throw this way. And yeah, Dave's having some problems with his internet. I know he got himself some new equipment, and so sometimes when you get new equipment, and sometimes you test it, and sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. I'm going to reset my computer. Yeah, that's probably the best thing to do, Dave, is just reset your computer and let's see how it's going from there. Anyway, so guys, look at the long range pieces. So black has these rooks that are coming this way, right? And he's got the queens coming this way. He's got the bishop that can go somewhere in there, maybe here to go this way. So you always want to look at the long range pieces. Obviously, if it was white's turn, man, he would have a really cool fork here, but of course queen would take, so that wouldn't work. So what do you think here? What do you think could be the possible answer here? Huh? So obviously, every time it's your turn, go and attack something. So I would say maybe let's attack this guy, right? Because if the knight goes check, queen can take. Queen takes, pawn takes. If this guy goes here, the pawn can take or the queen can take. So no problem. There's no problems. So I would say open up this file, and maybe go with this move. Oop, wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. What happened here? We did too many moves. Hold on. You know what? Let me just go to the next puzzle. There you go. Hold on. All right. So that's the. Man, I'm trying not something here too myself. All right, here. Hold on. It's your turn. Okay. Whatever that was. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Come on, take me to the next one. Doesn't want to take me to the next one. All right, here we go. Sorry guys, this guy's just real sensitive. What happened? Oh, I know what happened. Hold on. I was on an analyze board. There we go. Okay, there we go. We're no longer on an analyze board. Black to move, guys. What do you think here? Black to move. Yes, queen attacking the knight. You know what? That would have been a good answer. And so would have been g5. Hey, California's here. How's it going? Alexander, sorry about that, guys. Okay, now we got a puzzle going. So white pushes the pawn. It's black to move. What do you do? What do you do here? Hey, Daniel, how's it going? Daniel's here, a regular. So what's the move here? Black to move. How do we win something? Black to move and win. Always look for the unprotected piece. Obviously, the white queen is unprotected, and this rook is unprotected. So how can we create targets? How can we get to this position? The king, believe it or not, is protecting the rook. So the rook might be an unprotected piece here. So sometimes when a piece is protecting a piece, we might create a distraction, or we might force the piece to move away, or kind of like a remove the guard, that kind of deal. So what do we see? We have an unprotected rook. The queen cannot do anything. I didn't mean g5. Okay, no problem. No, on this puzzle, it's another puzzle, Alexander, that just changed. So what do you think, guys? What do we see here? Jar, you see anything here? Alexander, throw me the answer here. What do you think, Alexander? Or Daniel, what's up with you? You got an answer for this one? Layla, how's it going out there? You got an answer? Ah, we got an answer with the knight to c4. Okay, let's see. Let's play the knight to c4 check. Ah, he rejected that move. Sorry. Black queen. Black checks with queen. Yeah, that's the move. Black queen with checks. Now, it's obviously not here because nothing gets done. Here, the rook just takes, but the move is here, creating a fork, right? Creating a fork. Now, obviously, there's the capture, right? There's the capture. And if you look down here, we got it, right? Now, if we go back, this is what I don't like about this one. If the king were to protect this guy, then the knight would just simply capture the free rook. So that's how it is. Does that make sense? Hey, there he comes again. So that is the move. Queen goes here, rook blocks, and obviously we captured and we won. Does that make sense? Let's look at another one here. Let's continue here. I can still hear that feedback. Dave, let me get you in. Oops, let me get you in. What do you think, Dave? Talk to me,
How
big
can I
guy.
hear you?
You cannot hear me. Oh, it's your mic. You know what it is? Plug your microphone into the computer in and out. That's probably what it is. I can hear you. Now, in this white guys, he moved here, and he's attacking the queen. We have moves like pawn takes, queen takes, the bishop.
Bonjour.
What do you think we can do here? What do you suggest? Good deal. Wrong one, right? Roman says wrong one. Oh, so yeah, it's your take out your microphone. Maybe it's your microphone. Because I'm hearing some feedback from some wired. That's what I hear, Dave. Some wired. Yeah. Work with it. Let me remove you here for a little bit. All right. So what do you think? Here's the move, guys. What do you think? Does the queen capture? Does the queen capture or does the pawn capture? What do we do in that situation? And now listen to this. The queen wants to go here to try to create some sort of attack over here. So what can black do here? What would be the best move for black in this position? All right. Well, we could capture with a pawn, but remember, we always want to keep our pawns together, so that might not be the right move. We do have a knight sacrifice check, but maybe rook captures, and then we don't have any more checks. However, look at the queen here. The queen is unprotected. So every time it's your turn, look for an unprotected piece. And because the queen is unprotected, yes, queen takes pawn. Ooh, queen takes pawn. Here, nah, because rook takes or pawn takes. But the idea is correct. Yes, that is correct. Day, Alexander, ding, 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 ding. Points for California. The knight is a check. He takes, and then obviously capture the rook. Bishop goes check, and so what do we do here? We can capture it, but basically the move is just push. And if you look down there, success. All right, we got that one. Okay, let's look at this one now. The rook moves here to challenge the rook. The rook was in trouble with the bishop. What is white's move here? What do you think white can do? Look at the board. What can white do here? White to move and win. Now, again, always look at the long range pieces. We have a battery that's going here, but the rook's protecting. If the rook was not, that could be the move. We have bishop going this way. Could go that way, but I think most of the action is going to go this way. We have rook that can take. We have rook that can move away. We have rook that can maybe attack the queen. We have maybe a fork. Look for a fork. Hey, man. Alan is here. Hey, Alan, how's it going? And Alan says B3, and Alexander agrees with you. B3 is the move. He takes, and obviously here you can capture, and then of course he captures, you capture, and it's two pieces to two pieces. The B3 gets the pawn. Yes, Layla says pawn move. You got that move. That's what it was, guys. Let me Let me go in there. It was, remember, when you see two squares of the same color with one opposite color in the middle, or if you think about it like square, different color square, look for a pawn to push and attack in this manner, right? Let me change the color of the pawn here. Look for a pawn to attack in this manner, and you'll be able to, boom, capture or create a fork, and one piece moves away, and that's how it is. Yes, I agree, Daniel. It was B3, nothing but B3. Again, the pawn pushes, creates the forks. This guy decides to capture. A lot of times the piece will just move away, and then from there you could just capture with a pawn, or actually best would probably be captured with a rook, so that this guy rook can go here and double up. Plus, here, guys, also if you capture with a pawn, this pawn create turns this pawn into a pass pawn, plus an outside pawn. Pawn. Oh, are you okay? Oh, you're getting feedback. An outside pawn like an A pawn or an H pawn tends to be a draw pawn, because the king can't go around. So always keep the pawns together. Yeah, that was a killer move. Yeah. All right, so let's go to the next one. Let's continue here the training. All right, the bishop retreated, went back. He's probably trying to go along this diagonal. That's why one of the reasons why the bishops go. Plus, he's also controlling this square, because the knight might want to go here for a check, or the queen might go here to prepare for a checkmate here. So we have two pieces. He's got three. However, always look for the unprotected piece. How's it going, Abel? ¿Cómo te va? And always look for the unprotected piece.
And always look for the
I'm still getting feedback. Always look for the unprotected piece. Yes, Alexander says he's in a row. He says, I don't care if the bishop's there. I'm claiming that square anyway, and I'm going to knight to g6, creating a check. I don't care, Mr. Bishop, if you capture me, because look at this queen. I unprotected. Queen takes queen, and you got it. That is the move. Let me set it up again for you guys. The move is like this. Well, I guess a discover attack. So that would be a check with freezing the queen. Remember, check freezes the position. The queen wants to move away. Sorry, queen, you're stuck, because you got to take care of the check. So bishop takes care of the check, and queen takes queen, and white can go on to win the game here. Doesn't it make sense? All right, cool deal. Let's go to the next puzzle here. All right. Pawn pushes. Oops, sorry. Pawn pushes. We have pawn takes pawn. Now, guys, every time it's pawn takes pawn, you have three options. Every time it's pawn takes pawn, you have three options. You can capture the pawn, you can protect the pawn, or you can push the pawn forward. So this is what I mean by pawn takes pawn situation. Okay, you ready to join? Okay.
Okay. You're okay.
Oh man, I'm still getting feedback, man. But let's see. Let's see, the rook to h1 for an easy checkmate, right? Because checkmate is controlling the squares around the king. The king is controlling this square. We need to control these two squares and give a check, right? And so when the king can move to an opposite color square on the straight line, always look for a rook move or a queen acting like a rook. And Alexander is completely right. That is a check. The rook blocks, and now we have the mate. Does that make sense? Good job, Alexander. Good job. And that was that. Let me check you guys out, because a lot of times he would be really easy just to capture, and then he captures, and then the kings. In fact, black is winning the game, guys. Black is winning the game here. So the idea is to always consider the squares around the king, and so that is the move. The king cannot move here, cannot move back, cannot go here. The only one that can block is the rook. You capture, and the king is stuck. The king is in checkmate. Does that make sense, guys? All right, nice mate. Thank you. Oops, hold on. What happened here? Let me continue. Ooh, hold on. I did something. So let me continue to share the tab puzzles. Here we go. And there we go. Let me bring Dave in.
Go,
Dave, I'm still getting some feedback, man. I don't know what it is.
man.
Unpluck whatever you have and take
Still
it
getting
back
some.
to the way you did
I
No.
don't know what.
Oh man, poor Dave, man. All right, let's go to the next one, guys. There we go. Here's the next puzzle. So what do we got? The white knight moved from f3 to e5. What do we see here? What do we see here? Let's see. Unprotected knight. First of all, unprotected knight. White has a very strong battery coming to the middle. This knight is pretty cool, but he can't land here and he can't land here because of this pawn. So he might maybe move here with ideas of going here and maybe ideas to go in there, but that takes too long. And it's black to move. Always look at the long range pieces. Again, we have the rook coming here. This queen can maybe move here and go along this way. We have rook attacks queen, but then there's this check we got to worry about. So what do we think here? What do we got? Ah, uh, Alexander says bishop to c4. No, no, and then he says no, that's not it. I think he was thinking of that, but I think he was thinking of attacking in this direction, but I think he forgot the pawn was there. This looks it's a little on the hard move, but we need to stop this move. We need to stop this move, or we need to let him have it. He also has the queen doesn't have a check here, guys. The queen does not have a check here because of this bishop, and the queen doesn't have a check here because of the rook. So the king is safe, believe it or not. The king is safe. So think about the move here. Think about it. Um, see what you guys see here. I remember the Grandmaster moves. I always talk about the Grandmaster moves, right? And the Grandmaster moves are, let me see, let me get to them. Here we go. The Grandmaster moves are a good check. So I always consider a good check, but it has to be a good check. A check that forces the king to move, a check that would win material, or a check that gains tempo, right? Always attack the queen. If the queen's out, find a way to attack her. Even if it creates tempo, and of course, attack any unprotected piece. Those three are Grandmaster moves. One more Grandmaster move. Create a pin. Create a pin. Another Grandmaster move. The little pawn attacks a big piece. Man, the pawn is the most powerful attacker, guys. And of course, you want to get a queen, so you want to create a pass pawn. Does that make sense? So those are your Grandmaster moves. Let's see what the audience says here. Uh, Queen says, Layla says, Queen attacks knight and then you take. Okay. Queen attacks knight and then you take. Okay, that would be maybe here because I don't think this would work because queen takes, bishop takes, and if you go here, queen takes first, then bishop takes, then rook takes. So obviously, I think you're saying here. All right, let's see. Nope, that he didn't like it there. So the thing is, you want to create something. So you want to attack this square, right? You want to attack that square. So I was thinking maybe here to create the battery, but what happens if the pawn push? If you go here to create the battery for a check, what happens if the pawn push? What can we do next? All right, so it's got to do something with this unprotected piece here, right? It has to do something with the unprotected piece. So maybe it's little pawn attacks big piece. He captures and then we attack here. And if he goes there, then we got a free knight. I don't know. Think about it. Yeah. Oh, queen to g5. Yeah, but queen. Well, afterwards, yes, but the pawn's in the way, Alexander. Oh, queen to g5 check is the move. Very good. Somebody found it. Very good. Again, when there's an unprotected piece, this is what he did. He saw the king. The king has an opening, so always use the opening. There's an unprotected piece. We create two lines to the square that would create the fork. And there it is. And of course, boom, you got it. That is the move. Very good job, Alexander. All right, trying to trick you guys, and you guys caught me. All right, so black to move. What do you think? Again, look for the unprotected piece. Every time it's your turn, make sure your pieces are protected. This bishop is creating a pin, right? But sometimes to get out of the pin, you have a possible check, an in-between move. You have capture or attack of greater value piece. What do you think? Alexander says create a fork. Knight gets out of the way. Knight to g5, attacking the king. and the bishop, and then just simply capture. Very good. Good job. Very good job, Alexander. Now, there's another pin. So what do we do with this pin? When you're in a pin, move your treasure, but you lose the knight. So what do we do? The knight's on the white square. The bishop's on the black square. The bishop will never capture the knight. So all we got to do here is really protect the pawn. I mean, the pawn protects the knight, and we got it. There you see success, and we go to the next one. Let me review that one because, guys, I think a lot of times this you guys see something like this, and you know you can't move it because you're gonna lose the rook. But again, a check freezes the position, and when the king moves, wherever the king moves, it doesn't matter. The king can move back and move forward, whatever. Again, you got this. Now, if this were the position, would you take the bishop? Answer the question. Would you capture the bishop here? Now, when do you capture? When do you trade? You trade when you're winning. If you're winning, you trade. You also trade pieces when the result of the capture is going to be in your favor. When the result of the capture is going to be in the favor. What are some of the things we look to gain advantage? Space. Another one is pawn structure. So if we can force, let me see if I can get something for pawn structure here. But if we can force, it's all about forcing moves, right? It's all about forcing moves. It's about knowing your position. But the thing is, remember, you never, you have to look for where's my pawns? Where are my pawns? Where are my pawns? I wanna put a banner here and I don't see it. All right, here we go. Chess 2. Let me go to chess 2. And yeah, here it is. You want to go to pawn structure, right? Hey Dave, can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you and everything. I had to switch.
Hey!
Yeah, I had to switch to my cell phone. I've been having some weird internet issues. A lot of other people have. I had my green screen behind me here and my
I
mic
like
set
it.
up
I like it.
earlier.
Don't play with it. Just stay like that, man. We'll fix it afterwards. We'll fix it
Yeah, I
afterwards.
guess. Just yeah,
But
and also I was at a tournament all
actually,
day too.
yeah,
So
actually, I was hearing you, but I was also hearing some feedback, and they were like, something going on like that.
mhm.
So I figured,
Yeah,
let me
something
kick
was
you out.
going on.
So the question here is, what should white do now? He already solved the puzzle, right? But we always look to pawn structure. We always look to pawn structure. Good pawns versus bad pawns. Does that make sense? And
Always.
the thing is, what are bad pawns, Dave? Can you tell us what bad pawns are?
Bad pawns are usually doubled pawns or pawns that cannot move forward.
There you go. You
Yeah,
heard
so
it.
bad pawns are just anything isolated is a bad pawn just from the get
Anything
go.
An isolated pawn is a pawn that's lonely, that he's not next to his
Yeah,
to
lonely.
his buddy pawn. An isolated, the best protector of a pawn is a pawn. So if there's a pawn that's by himself, que está solito the pawn solito, he's by himself, right? Solito pawn. Then who's going to protect the dumb pawn? Another piece. And if a piece is protecting the dumb pawn, guess what? That piece can't do anything. He can't attack because he's protecting the dumb pawn. So don't have dumb pawns. Always keep your
Pawns got
pawns
to protect
together.
pawns, you know?
Yeah. So the move here, believe it or not, would just be after this. Oh, king moves wherever. Let's say king moves here, or maybe king moves there. Yeah, it would be captured because now this pawn is a weak pawn. And again,
Yep, it's
when you
isolated.
have a target, we continue the attack. Let's say he pushes, no problem. We can even castle here. And boom, look at that guy. And now let's say he protects. Now, is the rook a protected piece? No, right? So what do we do here? We can double up on that. We can create whenever there's a pin, attack the pin piece, but he might move. We can attack it some more, but he may move. So maybe not. So what do we do? What do we do with an isolated pawn? Well, let's tell first of all, when there's an isolated pawn, guys. Dave, tell us about the squares that isolate pawn give us. What's bad about an isolated pawn other than it being weak and unprotected? What advantage can we get from our opponents having isolated pawns?
Nothing's just connected to it. There's nothing, like no guard, nothing, and it leaves open spaces.
Oh, great.
I mean,
Like,
I'm
what do you mean
looking
by
right
that?
now, and I see a lot of open spaces because of
All
that
right.
pond.
And what do you mean by that? Be more specific here for our scholastic players.
Yeah. So, for instance, if you're looking at the C file and the E file, you'll be able to tell there's a lot of open space in there.
Right. Now, anytime you have an isolated pawn, guys, the square in front of the isolated pawn is a resting home for a piece, especially a knight, because it's not only blocking, but it's attacking. So it's kind of like you got the pawn hostage and he's your shield and he's protecting you from everybody shooting at you, you know? And so one of the moves could be just the rook goes here. Well, not really. So
No,
what
you can't
about
do that because of the
right,
knight.
because the knight.
So,
Yeah. So what if we just capture? Let's see if we
capturing's not a
capture
bad idea.
rook, and now we can attack it because this guy does this. Boom, we go here. If he protects, if we have a pin, we attack the pin piece and we win that pawn. And hopefully,
Take advantage.
everything goes to an exchange. We are winning by 3 pawns to 2 pawns, and 2 pawns over here to 2 pawns. So this is drawish, but we have an advantage. But definitely, we have an advantage on this side of the board. So you cut the board in half and you say, on what side do I have pawn advantage? Or they call it pawn majority in chess. Does that make sense, guys? So that, yeah, that would be I would say that would be a win for white, right, Dave? Would you agree with me?
Oh, yes, that's definitely a win for white here. Yes.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next puzzle here. All right, next puzzle. The rook goes here to challenge these guys. Oh, the idea, he's giving him a rook because if the rook captures, the rook goes over here and captures the queen with a check. So what can white do here? Look at the long range pieces. Obviously, take your time. Most of you would probably react and capture the free rook.
Yeah.
Okay, Alexander says capture the rook with a check, and that was the correct
Fact.
answer. Now, what is the move? We have an unprotected piece. We want to capture this rook this way, but we first have to deal with the queen. So, are we winning or are we losing? We're actually losing, but this is how we convert a lose into the win. So, what is the move here, Mr. Dave?
Queen takes D8 check.
Queen takes queen because it's a check. The rook is left frozen, and then the rook captures the rook. Also, by the way, conquering the king on the edge of the board, he's going to capture this pawn or he's going to capture this pawn. And the job of the rook here will be, one, to get rid of the bishop, two, to attack the weak pawns. In the end game, guys, there's what's the 6 steps that I created here? Is let me see. Where are they? Is uh, create the 6 steps. Endgame skills, guys. Pay attention to this one. Most endgames, if you know these 6 steps, most endgames you will win. Endgame skills. Remember these 6 winning ideas. Number 1, get rid of your problem. Who is your problem? The opponent's piece. If you have 2 pieces and he's got 1 piece, hey, it doesn't matter if you have a rook and he's got a knight. Hey, you take that knight with your rook, lose your rook, and with the extra piece, you're going to win the game. Simplify the game. Get rid of your problem. Number 2 is attack the weak pawn. Go after the weak pawn. Don't go check, 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 check. You're not going to capture. Plus, of course, the key needs to move up closer to the center. The other thing is you want to create a pass pawn. Once you create a pass pawn, in this case, this would be the pass pawn, the only pawn that's a pass pawn. A pass pawn is a pawn that cannot be stopped, blocked, or captured by an opponent's pawn. That pass pawn is gold. You have to protect him. So that's the next step. Actually, that's the next 3 steps. Protect the pass pawn, promote the pass pawn, and then checkmate within 4 to 6 moves. Does that make sense? Let's see what our audience is saying here. Answers are flying in today's awesome, I guess, show. Yeah. And so the move here, whatever he does, let's say he pushes here, then obviously we capture. Let's say he protects here. So what would the move be here? I would say, believe it or not, hey, let's see who can get the move here. Let's see. Layla says, what does Layla say? Layla says the rook cannot take the pawn closer to the king because of the bishop. You are right. So, what is the move here, Layla? Let's see. Let's see if you can tell me what the move is. Let's see who guesses this move here. Remember, step number one. Again, let me give it to you guys. Step number one. In the end game, you got to play these two steps. Step number one, get rid of your problem. And step number two, attack the weak pawn. This is the two steps you got to constantly play in the end game until you gain the advantage, okay? Or until it's a easy end game here. So what is the move? Let's see. Check. Hey, Layla, you got it, girl. Check is the move because if the bishop blocks free bishop, so the king's going to go here. Now, Layla, what is the follow-up to the next move? What is the follow-up? This one will ensure you win the game because if you take away his power, he can't beat you. If you take away his power, he cannot beat you. What is the move here? Let's see, Alexander, you're still awake. Daniel, you got an answer? Oh, and I lost Dave here. Anyway, what do you think is the move here? What do you think, Jay and Jay from Benavides? What do you think is the move? Yes! Alexander says the rook here because that creates the pin. The bishop cannot move. Let's say the king moves out of the way. And follow up, what is the move here for the win? In other words, to give you the advantage completely, what is the move? Daniel says, yeah, I save it for the kids. Yeah. Come on, answer the move.
But
Answer
that
the
actually,
move.
oh, you missed the move. You mean?
No. Actually, it was this. Dave.
Wasn't
You
it
missed
rook A8? Wasn't that the
No,
correct
it
move
it
here?
was this. It was this. Then the king moves here, and then he goes here, and now the king moves here. Now the question is, yes, that's it, Alexander. Capture the bishop, king captures, and you have an easy win here. Because this passed pawn cannot be stopped. The king has to stay here, protecting or guarding against that pawn. This king is going to travel wherever he needs to travel, maybe here, maybe there, maybe here, and then capture these pawns. And then these pawns are going to be the queen. Or
Hey,
the king
Ray,
can go this way. Yes, sir.
if you go back actually a little bit after the rook check
All right.
after the rook check earlier, so after the check, so rook check down. The fastest way to actually win this would be rook across the board to the other end.
Yeah, I was also thinking about that because then you
Yep,
win
that
this
is.
one. But
Actually,
the
you don't
idea,
just win that one; you'll win a
right?
couple.
But the bishop's still alive. That's the whole idea, that the bishop's still alive. So the idea is to teach him to get rid of the problem. Yeah, the bishop could probably move here, right? And then of course he captures, and maybe we go check. He
No, you
moves
can't play
maybe
check.
here.
The bishop.
Oh yeah,
You
you
can't play
can't. You
check.
see now, now you're in trouble, right? So he's got to go back here, and then this guy can go here. This guy moves here, and now his pawns are safe. I guess. I don't know.
Not so easy. Oh,
Not so easy. Yeah. Do you see? It
then the
becomes
rook comes over. Rook comes
the
over to
rook would
F8.
eh, right here.
F8. Nope, F8. One before, right?
Oh
One
no!
more.
Well, why not there? Why not there?
Because the bishop covers. Because the bishop covers
Ah,
on.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
you're
that's
right.
why you
You're
go
right.
F.
I forgot. So maybe here to attack this guy, right?
Yep.
And now he goes here, and then we can
Oi.
attack. Now we can attack it. It doesn't matter that.
Yep.
Well, yeah, he covers. So yeah.
You're
So
still
this
winning,
is
though.
why, guys. Yeah, you're still winning, but you gotta think, right? You gotta think. So this is why, guys. The technique works. You go check. He moves out of the way. You go here. Maybe he moves wherever. You capture, and now you have an easy win because all you got to do is move the king to the center of the board, and that's how it is. Yeah, there's a few ways to start stumping his pawns. Yes, definitely. But that's probably the best way. Get rid of his power. You might make a touch move or something, and the guy can beat you. Of course, against a bishop, nothing's going to happen. But let's say he goes here. Well, you go there. Of course, if he goes here, then you just go around him. And maybe he plays a little bit stronger. I mean, you wish you could go here, you wish you could go there. So maybe the move might be maybe here. I don't know. Maybe separate the pawns too. Yeah, you can separate the pawns. You can give him pawns, and the pawns are separate. This guy goes here. You got him. He goes maybe. I mean, there you go. He's got to go here, and maybe you just push the pawn, and he goes here, and I don't know.
Push another pawn. Push the
You can
pawn.
push this pawn. You can push this
Ooh,
pawn
that's a fun pawn.
because he captures and vamonos. And there's the look at the square of the pawn. Look at the square of the pawn. He's got to go this way, right? So you go here. He's got to go this way. Boom, and there it's over. He's got to go over, and you simply go to this square to go there, so that this is your queen. And you see how much more fun it is when you get rid of your problem. All right, man. So anyway, guys, I wanted to let me stop sharing here, and let me share another screen with you guys. Or no, I guess I can share this one as well. Let me just go to, I guess, analyze board or wherever. Where'd I go? Analyze board. Okay, there we go. Okay, let me go to that, and let me share again. Present here, and tap, and I think it's this one. All right, guys. So here we go. I wanted to talk about this move, guys. White does e4, which is a fantastic move. We're looking at the black moves. Black does e5. The knight goes to f3, and black does this amazingly super out of this world blunder. Now, guys, also I saw this. I saw this from some other students of mine, not of mine, of course, because they know not to make this move. But I saw this. I saw some students playing this. In fact, I saw this move against one of my students, and he just clobbered his opponent with this move. Can you tell me what the move? Yes. Daniel Alexander immediately answers, because we've gone over this move, and he says immediately sacrifice the knight. Guys, look at it. Look, e4, e5, knight attacks the pawn, f6. Terrible move, triple blunder. Sacrifice is the excellent move. Pawn captures, queen goes to h5. Attacking, creating the fork. If the king goes here, then we simply have the check. He goes here, he goes here, and we could probably get a checkmate out of this. He goes here, and we go here, and he's got to go arriba. He's totally losing. And of course here the move might be, well, it's not definitely check because of the bishop, but you're totally winning the game here, guys. I think it's a pawn push. Or no, maybe here.
I think you're correct. Actually, the pawn. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Because you're controlling the center. The bishop's attacking this square, and now the queen can maybe. In fact, you even have the check here, but you're totally winning the game. 100% control of the center, and it's over. Now let me go back to this one. Now let's see what other can happen. F6. Sacrifice the knight. Pawn takes. Queen goes to h5. Now, the mighty pawn blocks. Hey, good job for the mighty pawn. But look at this. Now you create a fork, and it's over. The knight blocks, and boom. And, he's going to lose here. The king's stuck in the middle. He is totally, totally losing in this position. Does that make sense?
Busty-toe. That is
busted.
Over.
And we see this a lot in the under 1,000 rated tournaments here. And, well, not a lot, but not from the strong players, but from the weak players. But a lot of times what happens is if these guys don't know, these guys will just develop. And a lot of times when you play a weak player and, he might just be doing dumb moves, but if you don't take advantage, he might wind up winning the position because, whatever, the position gets complicated. That's what happens. The position gets complicated at times. Does that make sense? Now, let me show you another thing that can happen. Or Dave, you got any opening blunders that can happen that these kids can avoid?
For instance, and this is one especially that you see, like you said, in the under 1,000. So E4,
E4.
C5,
Okay, against the Cislana. Okay.
and you'll see Bishop C4,
Bishop C4. Okay, attacking the weak square.
and then
Okay.
Knight C5,
Knight
C4, C6, Knight C6. Sorry, Knight
C6, Knight
C6,
C6. Yes,
and then
attacking the
and then
center.
Queen, and then the Queen F3,
Oh, the
F3.
Queen F3. F3. Okay, F3.
Right,
Hold,
F3, and the
okay,
reason
hold on.
for that
He
is too.
goes here. He goes there. He
Yep.
goes here, and Queen F3 with the idea of a scholar's mate, right?
Right, but all the
So
kids forget Knight to E5.
Knight to E5. Remember, Knight is the best protector of the scholar's mate, guys, because then
It
here
is.
he's got to go here, and you can get rid of it, And now let me show you here what I'm talking about. Scholar's mate defense, okay? Because some of you, well, not some of you. It better be
I
none of
heard you
you.
hesitate there, Ray, a little bit.
Yeah, no,
You
no,
said
none of
some of
mine,
you.
none of mine, none of
Uh-oh.
mine. But I mean, some of you like visitors, people that are visiting, they may lose to this. So Bishop to C4. Now, obviously, the attack is this. This is the attack. Now when he goes here, you definitely give him the pawn to
Ooh,
create tempo. To
ooh.
create tempo, this guy captures, remove the guard. He goes here and checkmate, right? Or or you got another killer move in 11 moves. He goes here, this guy goes there, queen goes to h5 here, this guy goes here,
Ooh.
this guy goes there, boom, there it is again, boom, there it is,
Boom,
he goes
boom,
here,
boom,
you
boom.
chase him. Now what color is the king on? The king is on a dark square, so again, give him the pawn for tempo, the bishop
Ooh.
captures, and there it is. Now if he goes here, we simply go there, and he moves here, and we got the checkmate in 11, right? But
Ooh.
let's say he blocks. But if he blocks, then we separate the king from it. Then we capture the bishop. The king must go here. We have the checkmate here. This is all K1 curriculum of winning chess. K1 curriculum is what I'm
Yeah.
showing you here. But now I set the defense, right? So how do we stop that? How do we stop that? So let's go here. The best move is what Dave played. This guy plays here. When this bishop comes out, guys, he's going after a scholar's mate, right? So if this knight comes out, that stops everything. But a scholar's mate player is stubborn. A scholar's
Yes.
mate player is stubborn. He's going to try to beat you in 4 moves, even if it's going to take him
They will
1,000.
every
Even if it
time.
takes him 1,000. So the best move is what Dave said. Bring the knight to protect the pawn. The queen goes to h5 because he learns to do this. If the pawn blocks, if he studied it he studied the opening the right way, but didn't bother to think about the other variation, then he's going to lose the queen there. Right? So that's one. All right. So now, let's say here, again, this is the best move. Now, if he comes here, we want to block the queen from going to to f7. So the move is develop. Remember, in the opening, you develop. Now, sometimes these guys will pull out a pawn because the idea is maybe this guy goes here, this guy goes there, the knight moves out of the way because he was in danger, and we win with checkmate. That's what this guy's thinking, right? That's what this guy's thinking. And so he does this move. Now, remember this, guys. Whenever the queen is out, what do? Attack the queen.
Attack,
So
attack.
the move, the queen, the knight goes here. Not only that is he attacking here for the fork. Now, if the queen goes here, then we have the royal fork. And we win the queen, right? Now, if the queen goes all the way back, well, we got a center pawn. Now, question. The pawn is protected by the knight. So if the knight captures the pawn, the knight captures back.
But
The knight's
then,
also
here comes the
attacking the pawn.
queen.
So what color is the king on? The
A
king
black
is on
square,
the
and
dark
that's
square.
no
Who
bueno.
attacks on black squares? Bishops. But the bishop cannot do any checks through here or any checks through here. So we go to the next bishop, or the queen that acts like a bishop, and the queen moves along this way. The king can't go here because of the knight. and the king can't go here because of the knight and the queen, and so nothing can block, nothing can capture. The king goes here, and we have a checkmate right here.
Oi, oi, oi.
Yeah, and he is toast. Let's look at another one. Let's say this happens again. The knight again is the best protector of this scholar's mate deal. He goes here. Let's say he goes here and you block. Now, let's say he goes into this position and he creates a battery that's attacking the weak square f7. Don't bring out the queen, guys. Quite frankly, it's blocking the bishop. So the best move again, attack the queen. Now, bishop captures the pawn. It is a check. Move the king
But
out
it's
of
a
the way.
blunder.
But the knight is attacking. So the queen needs to still continue to protect the bishop. The queen goes here. And now all you got to do to win the bishop is kick the queen out of this diagonal. So the move is simply push the pawn. If the queen captures the free-looking pawn, the knight captures the queen. So if the queen moves here, which is pretty much the move that's going to happen, you can create something. But most of the time, it's going to be a check. There's the free pawn, and you did a discover attack on the queen. If he blunders, if he does this, knight takes knight, pawn takes, and then you capture queen. If he moves back, let's say he goes here and he moves here. Now, do you remember the knight wants to go to c2 to create this check, but he's also from here, he's also attacking these squares. Right? He's also attacking these 4 squares. And so the idea here is to sacrifice the bishop to attack the queen, and it's a free bishop. If this guy's doing these bad moves, the queen, he's going to take the free knight, the free bishop, and there you have a royal fork. And again, you win the game. King moves here, you go there. He's got to protect more than likely here. Now, when the king is in the middle, guys, this is full theory here. When the king is in the middle, we open up the middle. Pawn takes
Bust that
pawn.
middle open.
There we go. If he goes here, there comes the queen, and look at this. He goes here. Now, white square. We create a line through here. Who gets on the line? The bishop gets in the line. If this guy goes here, there's the sacrifice. Boom. Check. He's got to move here, and we got a checkmate in 2. The move is the knight. He moves here, and we got checkmate.
2, and then hasta luego.
Again, this is pure K1 curriculum. My K1 curriculum. This is what I'm showing you, part of my K1 curriculum. Guys, for years and years, my K1ers were always regional champions. So, yeah. But, guys, I just wanted to give you a little bit of that, a different look as well. Let me go back to this other one. But yeah. Dave, any last words here?
Oh, yeah. And I saw a lot of this today. I was at a tournament 90% of today. And I saw a lot of this in my under 1700 section. Develop your pieces. People do not develop as early as they need to, but develop your pieces as early as possible and castle. Get that king to safety.
Yes, that is so important. Remember, what do we got to do? We got to I think I got it here. Remember, winning opening principles. Dave says control the center. Control the center, the E4, the E5, D4, D5 square. Right. Develop your knights and bishops into the sub-center. The sub-center is the squares around the center, right? Don't move the knights to the edge of the board. Make them attack the center all the time.
Oh, God.
Prepare to castle. Yeah, prepare to castle to protect your king. King safety first, guys. Now, if you've done, let's say if you develop a knight and you develop a bishop and then you castle, you're still not ready to attack. Unless, of course, there's an opening. But in case there's not, then remember, you got to go to the next one, which is finish developing the rest of your knights and the bishop. Guys, these are basic rules of the opening. most games, believe it or not, if you don't play the opening correctly, you're going to lose because of what you did on move number 2 or move number 3. From that position, it becomes weak, and the opponent's just going to boom, 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 attack you, and
Oh yeah, and they're gonna run you over
you'll
quickly.
have problems. Then, of course, number 5, bring your rooks to the center files. Rooks are best on the C file, the D file, the E file, the F file, or any file that opens up. That's the power of the rooks. The rooks, believe it or not, even though they can move across the board, they're not that strong across the board. They're strong in the middle of the game, or in the beginning, in the middle game. The rooks are stronger going up and down, not side to side. In the end game, side to
Amen to
side.
that.
That's 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 when the rooks are strong going to side in the end game. But in the beginning of the game and the middle game, the rooks are strongest going up and down. If they go up and then they have an opportunity to go to the side, don't do it. Your rook's gonna get trapped, or it's going to lose momentum. It's going to lose squares. It's going to lose activity. So instead, just move it back. That's this power. Remember, you got to control the file. Some rules of the opening that you don't want to move, you don't want to break, is don't move, don't block your pieces in. Don't block your. I get a lot of bishop to d6 protecting the pawn after the knight attacks. Let me show you what I mean by that. Here, let me just show this again, and hold on, let me see. There you go. Let me show you what I mean by this, and let me go to analyze board again here. Here we go. Analyze board, and this is what I mean. E4. Let me take this guy out. Hold on. Here we go. Don't block your pieces in. E4, E5. The knight attacks, and we get the bishop. Oh, black square. Okay, I don't think they even think that. But they make a move like this. The bishop is protecting the pawn. The pawn is protected. But guess what? This bishop is blocking this pawn. This pawn wants to move here so that this bishop can go out. You're blocking a pawn. Don't block the pieces in. Does that make sense, guys? Don't block the pieces in. I think that's probably the biggest rule that a lot of under 1,000 rated players make. They block
And I
their
saw that
pieces.
a lot today with the under 1,000 players. I had about 6 of them in one of my sections, and I saw a lot of that. Don't
Yeah.
block your pieces in.
Now, the other one is don't move the same piece twice. Let's say we go here, we go here. This guy goes there. Maybe this guy goes here. And, oh, then maybe they do this, and this guy goes here. This guy moves here. Maybe this guy. And again, he moved the bishop again. And then he wants to move this guy here. And then this guy might do here. And then he's trying to do this. He's trying to do this again, this sort of scholar's mate, but he moved the bishop twice, and this guy's all he's gonna do is he's gonna castle. And if you think about it, look at black has castle, 1, 2, 3 pieces developed. His bishop has an open file, so we can consider him developed. And this guy doesn't even have the bishop anymore because the queen's blocking the bishop. So don't move the same piece twice, guys. Don't move the same piece twice. Uh, so that's another one. Another one is too many pawn moves. Now, when pawns move together, it's a good idea, but there's got to be a reason why you move the pawns. Let's say again, what would be a pawn move? Let's say, I guess we got to get into it. Okay, here we go. Maybe this move, and this guy goes here. This guy goes here, and then this guy goes here. You
Oh my
see, the
God.
guy he moved here, and then he moved there, and then he moved here, and the knight's just gonna move to the center, or move away, or even attack the bishop. The bishop, might go here. Let's say he even goes here again. The bishop should go all the way back, guys. The bishop should go all the way back. The bishop should always take the longest diagonal. And so let's say he moves here. This guy captures, and this guy captures. Look at these little dumb pawn island. It's super weak. White only has one piece out. He can only castle to the king side, and obviously he's going to lose this pawn as well. Let's say queen even attacks, and we have this, or we even have a check, and he's doing He's doing Black's doing great. So don't do that. Don't move too many pieces, man. Does that make sense? So those are a couple of things, guys. We're gonna start giving you guys more, not only puzzles but little tips that will help you play better, and also we're gonna show you the mistakes that you make that cause you to lose games, so that you stop doing those mistakes.
Right, and I actually had one of these with one of my newer students. Actually, last night, I have a new student from Florida that I started
All right.
working with, and I was telling him exactly what you just said today, Ray. The moving the pawns, developing the pieces, moving the rooks to the center.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you got to do. That's what if you're playing a 5 point a 5 round tournament, you need to get to the 4 points, especially here in Texas. You got to, or here in the valley, reaching 10, reaching 8. You need to get to 4 points to get even a medal. So guys, trust me,
Yeah.
if you don't play solid chess, you're not going to get even the medal, man. You're not even going to score 3 points. The other thing is, if you're not scoring at least 3 points, your rating is going to just keep going down. So you need
Yeah,
to
but
score three
you're not going
points
to learn
or
anything.
better.
That's the
And you're
biggest
not
part.
going to win anything. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. And
You're
you're
not
not
going to
going to
learn.
get any better. And and then if you're not notating, then definitely you're not learning anything. You guys, you want to
Oh,
get better, you must notate. You must notate. You must notate. And so,
yes. Ray, I could pray that hallelujah. Please, notate, notate,
woo!
notate.
Amen,
Woo-hoo!
brother.
Please. Yeah. People need, you got to notate, no matter who
You
you are.
must
Because coaches
notate.
like you and me, we need to see that sheet so we can look
Yes.
at these games
That's the
so you
only
can
way we're
improve.
going to help you with your mistakes. Even if you win, guys, there could be mistakes. And remember, if you're playing in a community, you're going to play that same player again. So
Yep.
if that player notated and he lost to you, guess what? He's going to learn how to beat you. Now, if you take the win and you say, "Oh man, I beat this guy, and I don't have to go over the game," and you're wrong, because in there you might have made a mistake that next time you're going to keep doing, and the guy just didn't see it. And so, yeah,
Right.
notation is important. Thank you, Daniel.
Yes. Thank you, Daniel. Praise the
And
Lord.
yeah, man. And now I'm gonna pass the basket. So put out your donations. Oh, hallelujah. Well, I always say, what is it? Also, don't give a lot of texts. Don't give
Oh,
a lot of texts. I'll show you a game. Let me show you a game here. I mean, I'm on the roll tonight, man. I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll, man. Man, you got me preaching now, man.
preaching the
Let's
good
see.
word of chess.
The good word of chess. So, guys, look at this board. Let's see. How do we do this one? How do I do this one? I forget. Here we go. From a Scandinavian point of view, black opens up great, but then the knight goes here, and black from there. Let's go with the Scandinavian. He goes check.
What?
And the bishop blocks, and then he decides, "Oh, free pawn, so I'm going to move me right here." And so the best
No.
move is the bishop. And now look at the bishops attacking here. And then he says, "Oh, the king's in check, so let me check him again." The knight blocks the check. And then he says, "Okay, I guess I'll bring a knight on." Okay,
What?
so when the queen
No.
is out, let's attack the queen. And then this guy says, "Okay, well, let me go right here. Let me go right there." So what can you do? Well, the queen's on the dark square. Who develops on dark squares? There comes the bishop. And then finally the queen maybe ends up moving. Well, she can't move here, but maybe she moves somewhere like maybe here, or maybe winds up going back home. And the queen moved, I don't know, like 7 times, guys. And look at the development that white has. White didn't even try.
You
So,
didn't even throw us
guys,
a finger.
unless you go to the church of tech, don't do a lot of checks. Remember what I say, guys. Out of 10 checks, maybe one is good. Out of 10 checks, maybe one is good. So what do you say to that, brother Dave?
Yeah, that's just crazy. Like you just develop perfectly and you just throw in the attack. Black had no choice. He's running around like a chicken with his head cut off. Like,
Yeah. Useless checks are terrible. They
they are
help your
terrible.
opponent
They
become
are.
stronger.
I saw so many of those today. Seriously, I'm surprised my brain didn't explode by some of the mistakes. And some of these mistakes weren't even by like some of the lower rated players in the under 1700. I saw a 2100 make a mistake like that today.
Wow, amazing. And the thing is this, guys, if a good check is a check that wins material, fork the king and fork a piece, king moves, you win a piece. A good check is when you develop a piece and the piece is going to stay where it lands for a while. That's gaining tempo. Check and gaining tempo. A good check is a check that forces the king to move. And that's his only way out of check is the king's got to move, especially early on or
Oh
somewhere in
yeah.
the opening where he can't castle. Because if you force the king to stay in the middle, he's weak. The rooks he's in between the rooks and the rooks can't connect. So he's got to move the king another time. Another good check is the king hunt. Check, 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 checkmate. When you're hunting the king, those are the good checks. Other checks that don't produce those results, bad check. And I will say this, that you go to the church of check. Don't go to
The
the
church of
church of
check. I
check.
like it.
Don't go to
I
the
think you should
church of
get that
check.
made into a shirt, Ray.
Don't go to the
I
church of
believe in
check.
the church of check. I think get like a king in the middle of it. That'd be awesome. Be a great shirt, Ray.
No, I've been saying that one for years, man. Don't go. I see kids
I'll go to
going.
the church of check. I like that.
You know, when I see them like this and they start checking and checking, I go, "Do you go to the church of check?" Start laughing because I don't want to go to the church of check.
Yeah, no.
But that's funny, man. But you gotta have fun. So, guys,
Yeah.
hope you enjoyed the show today. We're turning into a different type of show now, especially now that Dave's got equipment.
Yeah.
We're gonna work on it, and we'll have it ready by next week, guys. But guys, again, have a wonderful evening. Dave, any last words again?
Like you said, not the church of checks. And please just develop your pieces, please. It's killing me.
Daniel says it was awesome. Have a great night. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank
And
you,
I'm glad
Daniel.
to have you here, man. Next time, answer more questions. Don't worry about the scholars, man. Layla, good night. And Alexander, I'm glad you were here, man. Good job. And everybody else that came in. I don't know. A bunch of you guys came in. So, guys, good night. Again, we'll see you next week. And again, this is the Chess Puzzle Show. So give us a like, share it. It'll be full of lots of good information. So we will see you guys. We'll see you next time. Bye
See
bye.
you next time. Bye now.